What up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Dama Nerds. We are the hosts. My name is MJ. I'm accompanied by my buddy Rod from the Terra Squad. It is Sunday, September 8th, the 12th year of the fucking Sander. In my time, JPT, Japan time, it is 8 a.m. 8:41 a.m. to be precise. What time is it, and how you doing, Rod?
Hey, what up, MJ? We're hanging out over here. It is 4:42 p.m. in the afternoon.
Ooh.
Here in sunny Vancouver, Canada.
Nice.
Hanging out, and you know, I just got back here from the year in Japan. Settled back in, getting back in my bedroom, making some damas again, all that shit. And
sleeping
so,
in
we had
bed.
to do a little Van Jam recap because we had Van Jam. So we brought some special guests for today.
Well, what?
And none other than the Alex Smith.
Yes.
Yo, what's up?
Who?
It's Alex. I'm here.
And those of you who know Alex, usually where Alex goes, Kristin follows. I didn't mean it like that. That sounded weird.
Not like that.
It meant you'd probably have met her because she's always around
Yes.
as well. That sounded way better in my head before I said it. My apologies. Anyways, welcome to the show, Kristin.
Kristin. There we go.
Shit.
It is episode 19. Hopefully everyone's excited for this one. Yet we got two awesome guests. Alex, Kristin are in official Dama Nerd territory. And thanks for coming on the show, guys.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
Yeah,
Right?
I've listened to almost all of them. I gotta do a little bit of catch up, but it's cool stuff, man. I'm stoked to be on it. So.
All right. That's really
yeah.
awesome to hear, especially, coming from one of the pioneers of the Kendama podcasts.
Yeah, if you dig real deep, you can find Dama Talk.
Episode 1,
they
Keith
were-
Matsumura.
Yeah, there's one with Keith. I think there's one with Jake that got released. Maybe there was one or two that I tried to do soon after that we had so many technical problems.
Oh.
That was honestly part of the reason it died. It was very frustrating. I recorded with Jake like 2 or 3 times, and the first time,
whoa.
he was recording and his computer just froze right when we were both like, okay, that's pretty much it. And so we lost the entire, his half of the recording.
Oh.
And it was like things like that over and over.
Yeah.
We kind of rebooted it a little bit years later. There's 2 or 3 more episodes.
Oh, no
So
shit.
if you go search, there's a few on SoundCloud if you hunt them down.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I dropped the ball, so I'm glad you guys are rolling with it.
We found
for
it.
real.
We found that shit ball. Polished it up
We found that shit.
and picked it up, and fucking put a hole in it, attached a string to it, grabbed one of Rod's Damas that he turned, his Kens, and we just fucking put it on that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, made the best of it.
Jamming it out.
And we're just swinging that thing around.
But Alex, it comes with the territory, recording, using all this tech, trying to get something made, because Rod and I, without fail, pretty much every episode there's been some speed bump that has hit us. Yeah.
Oh, I believe it fully.
Yeah.
Anybody who's ever tried to record something, whether it be audio or even Kendama edits, if you do it enough, something goes wrong one day, and you lose
Right.
your glorious clip. It's gone.
Gone.
And everybody knows that feeling.
Yeah.
It comes with it.
Yes.
Exactly. And the risks are heightened even more with us being in different countries and shit. Using multiple computers, multiple devices.
Oh my god. If only you guys could see the setup right now.
Oh, we have so much technology.
We do.
We have redundancy over here. We're gonna make this episode happen for certain.
Multiple laptops, multiple phones, multiple headphones. Oh yeah, we're loaded over here.
We're rocked and ready to go.
So I actually want to open it up with some old tales of yore, and I want to know, because I never really asked Rod, or maybe I did. Maybe I got some information, but maybe a lot of people don't know. How did the Smith and the Ansel meet?
Oh man, it's
Because as
it's
you know,
pre-Dama.
pre-Dama.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's pre-Dama. I don't even remember what like the first time would have been. We both played in bands.
It would have been at a show. When
Yeah,
we
it probably
played
would have
together.
been a show.
Okay.
And probably like at Brett's at a party after or something too, hanging out.
Sounds about right.
What is this? You guys
Yeah,
are like
Rod and I
16?
both played in super. Yeah, probably like maybe
Teenage
a little bit
years.
older
Older than that. Older
Yeah.
than that.
Probably like 18.
Yeah. We were buying our own beers, bud. In Alberta, 18 is the drinking age.
Yeah.
So
I was about to say legally. Okay, 18's the drinking age over there.
yeah,
in
yeah.
Alberta.
Holy
Once you're
shit.
18, you're an adult. You can do all the adult stuff now. It's fine.
Oh, Canada. Damn.
But
Oh, Canada.
Vancouver's 19. So
Oh, but that's just a
you
year.
get an extra year of traveling
Yeah.
out.
Okay, so you're at a show, possibly?
Yeah, so probably
Our bands played together
we
a bunch
played
of times.
together a lot.
All right,
we played in
so-
some super cool metalcore bands, mid 2000s,
Nice, nice.
the peak of music.
Oh yeah.
We got to hear
Still
those
super
band
cool.
names. What were the names of the bands?
There's a bunch.
Yeah,
Well, the ones you were
the
in.
one I played in.
Yeah.
The one I played in for a while was Vespertine Battle Scene.
Okay.
And then after that was a kind of like alt math rock kind of band called Gazelle. It was also pretty cool.
Nice from Africa. Yeah.
Rod?
Man, no, well, back in those days, I would have still been in Labella Vendetta.
We never played with Labella though.
I think we did. I'm
The
pretty sure we did it. At
Hold on,
Avenue
hold
Skate
on.
Park one time.
Does that translate to like the beautiful vendetta?
Something like that, yeah.
Right?
A Beautiful Revenge or some shit.
Right? Anyone?
Mid 2000s.
It was sick. There's a video, if you search on YouTube, there's like a little music video thing that our homie put together of a show one time. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. Okay, so was it like love at first sight, or were you like both like, yo, I don't know about that dude with the dreadlocks, or like small dreadlocks
No,
at
Rod
that
didn't
time?
even have
This is
dreads.
pre-
Yeah.
This is before I had
There you
dreads,
go.
man,
Yeah.
I had big, long, dirty, curly, dyed black hair.
Honestly, it
Dyed black.
kind of was like between our bands, like we definitely hit it off. Like just kind of like the whole group became homies pretty quick.
Okay, nice.
So yeah, we used to hang pretty good. I guess after like a year or two, you moved to Calgary.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We still got to like play together, jam out a lot. But
Yeah,
then that was
totally,
about the time we started playing Dama.
It was, yeah.
like about then.
Because Kristin was living in Calgary also. So you
I
were
was
coming down
about,
to visit.
Like 4 or 5 blocks away from you. I wasn't that far.
Although,
Exactly.
for the record, if you back it way up, before I knew Kristin or Rod, they actually met once
Oh,
as
yeah.
like teenagers.
Oh yeah, because Rod was
Whoa.
like junior high dating one of my really good friends at the time. So I met
Whoa.
Rod not only before he was pre-dreads, but before he even had long hair.
Or-
He was
or-
still wearing like a Che Guevara hat and had 2 lip rings and like short curly hair. Oh yeah, I've known Rod a long time.
Whoa. That goes deep there.
Yeah, we went to the water park together. We were like,
Oh,
did
shit.
that.
We did.
That's hilarious. Oh my god.
You know,
Yeah,
bonds.
That was when my
you know-
little brother came. Right?
yeah, oh yeah, I met Brian for
I remember
sure.
that.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that only deepens bonds when you meet somebody's
Right.
family, and then like you get to know them better. But dude, when you go to a water park with somebody and see them half naked like the whole
Water
day, that's deep.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's why people love, or hate the onsen thing here in Japan, because it's like you're getting real intimate. You're going full buck naked with each other.
As intimate as she gets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's intense. But so you guys, your bands had played a show together.
Yeah, I think at one point, I think the point we like started really hanging out was when I like filled in for you on that tour.
Yeah. There was I guess was it Open Eyes went on that tour?
Yes.
You played for them as well?
Not Open Eyes. They were on the tour, but it was Vespertine, Open Eyes, and then The Fortunate. And I ended up playing
played
bass
for
in
them,
The
yeah,
Fortunate
okay.
as well.
Yeah, okay, sorry. But yeah, long story short, there was my band did a tour like kind of across Eastern Canada.
Yeah.
And I couldn't go. So Rod had, I don't know, been around us a bunch, like knew the songs, shreds bass, and so he like learned them better, like well enough to play it, and he sent it on the tour. And he ended up playing bass for like the headlining band on the tour too, so he was pulling double duty.
Oh
Every
man. Did you get one of
I
those
feel like
double neck basses, Rod?
No,
Fucking-
I wish, man.
Both at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that good.
No, so yeah, I guess like that's probably when we started hanging more. And then once, like, you were in Calgary and I would be driving down to, like, see Kristin and then, like, the homies. Mm-hmm. And so that was about the time we started playing Kendama. And so then we were just hanging out, jamming Dama, too.
Yeah. Who was the one that had the Dama first? Or you didn't both have it at the same time? Be like, whoa, you got one of these crazy things, like, whoa!
Like about, 2 or 3 months or something before me and Eric, or maybe a little more?
I found it, I mean, I knew what it was for a good while. Like, some friends of mine who were big into skiing saw it in, like, the skiing video. Kind of ski porn, I think, was maybe the video.
Yes.
But they had one online, and then a while later, me and a friend, so we knew what it was, but we just saw one in, like, a Japanese booth at this local festival.
Oh, okay.
So we bought them, and then that buddy of mine also knows Rod, and I think he kind of showed, like, Brett kind of showed you guys, right?
Yeah, Brett did, yeah.
Yeah, so they found it, like, pretty quick after, and then it was like, about a year of us playing, like, pretty mellow, just, like, here and there a little bit. And then after that, like, we kind of got more down, and, I don't know, held, like, some of the KE contests and stuff is when it picked up a little bit more.
Yeah. There you go, KE. Kendama Edmonton, that's something that I think a lot of people maybe have heard of. Just like whispers, you know, depending on where you're living. Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of people now probably have no idea. Like,
probably not.
I've had a lot of people now, I mean, not as recently because it's been out a while, but maybe like a year or two ago with my pro model that had the KE logo on it.
Right.
Like a lot of people approached me with like no idea what it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, KE, man, it's getting old now. Gotta.
So for all the listeners who are out of the
listeners,
loop,
go find it. There's some good KE edits.
Some homework for the nerds.
Yeah,
homework for the nerds. Do you have? So how many edits do you have up there? Are they full edits? Are they like spotlights 13, of one person?
Is there? Yeah, I think there is 13. I don't think there's 13 like kind of full edits. They're called mini edits, but
they're more or less full.
But some of them are like 10 minutes long. Edits, so.
Oh shit! So what would a full edit be for you guys? Like a 30-minute jam?
I mean, we never made a full edit.
Yeah,
we made mini edits.
Honestly, like when we started, we kind of had this plan to make like a little bit of a longer, video.
Yeah,
and the first couple edits were maybe like 3-4 minutes. I don't know. And we called them mini edits, and I think it was Jake Weens. Like before I'd ever met him, he had the Ken Garden blog. And he posted one of them on the Ken Garden blog. You know what? I remember it was Mini Edit 4 because we bought 100 OG Uzoras straight from Uzora.
Whoa.
Like we imported them and then just like sold them to our friends for like cheap. It was like $20 to our friends or $25.
Yeah.
Just to like spread Damas and get them to everybody's hands so everybody could jam. And so we had this video where at the start of it, we make a trail of 100 Damas like through the house. And it's it's cool. Like, check it out.
A
trail?
trail?
The tricks are like super mediocre now. This is like beginner stuff by today's standards.
Yeah.
Back then it was sweet. But yeah, so Jake reposted it because it was like a ton of Damas in this video. And he made this joke, like in his post being like, I don't know why these guys call it a mini edit. Like it's, a few minutes long. It's not that mini. They got like 100 Damas on the floor.
Yeah.
And so then I was kind of like, oh, like Jake's trying to call me out. So just troll Jake, I'm gonna call all of them a mini edit now. And so that's pretty much the reason. And I mean, just for continuity, they were already mini edits, and we were just like, all right, they're getting longer, but they're still mini edits.
Right.
I don't think the full length is ever coming at this point, but
whoa. Okay. So maybe that's a good homework assignment for everyone.
Hell yeah, it is.
Kendama Edmonton.
4.
Mini Edit 4.
Some of the better tricks and like cinematography and stuff comes in around like 9.
7.
Yeah, those ones get better.
Yeah.
We upgraded camera gear pretty heavily at number 7.
Yeah.
Is that the Brett's Cabin edit? Or is that one 12?
That one's 7 or 8.
That one's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, there's a few. Some of the old the Kendama Edmonton contests we did. There was like 5 of them maybe. And there's some good footage in a few of those edits from some of those battles that they were pretty good. Like they were a Kendama contest, but we did it at our friend's place. Like a brewery sponsored it, so we got a couple kegs of beer. We had an art show going on in dude's living room. There was a show in the once the sun went down, we couldn't play Dama outside. There was 3 or 4 bands played in the basement, and Brett had just bought this house and moved in, and so he just bought a ton of paint markers and all like just
I
every
forgot
type
about
of
that.
marking thing you could think of. And during the show, everybody just had free range on
the
like
house?
the basement walls.
Oh
Yeah.
my!
Just
man!
like the basement
Just the
room, because the basement was kind of like this one big room that was Brett's like a career musician, so it was just instruments everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the room next to that was like his bedroom / recording studio, and so that main room you could just like anything you wanted. And so for the rest of the time he was in that house, it was like the basement was just covered in art. Like it was super cool.
Do you think that was a good idea he made or a bad one? Letting everyone and anyone draw whatever
I thought it
on
was
his
great.
wall.
No,
Depends on your
honestly,
perspective.
it was pretty good. Like
it was really sick.
it really fit
Yeah?
the space. Like it wasn't really like
Good,
destructive.
Yeah.
No, everybody was pretty chill about it, actually.
Yeah.
There weren't a lot of just like.
Well, I mean,
pieces
No,
drawn
it
on
was,
the
like,
wall. It was all
mostly
really cool
tasteful.
stuff.
and you're all
Yeah.
you're all Canadians. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, probably.
If that
Maybe there were some
happened-
foreigners at that party, but
I feel okay, but I
probably
feel
mostly
like
Canadians, you know.
if that happened in the States, like someone would be like, there would be a group of assholes because there's always a group of assholes in any community in the States or any party you go to that's just gonna start trouble for nothing. There'd be,
Yeah, I
there'd
mean,
be
like,
holes in
that-
the walls and shits.
That could exist here, I guess, but I don't know, not as much in our
didn't.
like group.
Exactly.
Of
Yeah,
friends.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
From my whole
Didn't
life,
happen,
all the
so.
Canadians I've met, all the coolest people. Just saying.
I appreciate that, man.
Just saying.
We just
Oh,
try
yeah.
to do nice things, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, make art in the homie's basement. Don't kick his walls in.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. He invited us over.
Just fucking be nice, eh?
Right? Be nice, A. So that's
Yeah,
that's
man. But
something.
funny story, Brett ended up selling that house. I'm pretty sure as is. I don't think he even painted the walls or
Oh
anything.
no.
It was
No,
some
no, Brett
history.
probably didn't. I mean, to be fair,
History
like
on
one
that.
coat of paint and that's taken care of. But
I
that's,
feel
that's
like
pretty funny if he didn't paint it
A
before.
couple coats of paint. there was some thick lines on those walls.
you're probably right.
That's
But-
true.
So KE, that group that you made, who was the mastermind behind that? Or was it a group effort of like, hey,
there
let's
was-
do this, let's have
It
a
actually
meetup?
started with
There was before like Kendama Edmonton, like KE. We actually had a different thing called the UKA, which was
Ooh.
just the University Kendama Association.
Oh,
official sounding.
yeah.
Yeah, we were very. So we figured out we could start a club at the university, and for starting a club, we got a bunch of sweet perks, like if you were a club executive. And we just got an excuse to organize times for like the friends to all meet up and play kendama in between classes
okay.
or whatever if we had a break. So yeah, we started the UKA, which was like the first couple battles, and then, I mean, honestly, eventually we figured out if you wanted to host a university club event where you could serve beer, there was a bunch of kind of extra stuff you had to do. Like you had to do like a safe serve course and
get a liquor license.
Yeah.
and kind of do it like super legit, which, you know, fair enough. But for us, like pretty much everybody was just our friends. And so we were like, if we could just go to our friend's house and have a party otherwise, we don't have to do all that stuff. And like, we're responsible adults. We can just do this. So at that point, like we couldn't call it a UKA thing because we would have
okay.
to do all the stuff. And so that's kind of how Kendama Edmonton was born. I think we eventually like made an edit kind of around the same time too. We wanted like a name for it. And so we just kind of swapped from being like UKA and like running our Kendama stuff kind of under that to just being Kendama Edmonton and kind of ditching the university club as much, I guess.
Yeah. Oh,
So that's kind of like how we started doing contests and everything like that as well.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, like again, like looking at stuff online, like Jake's Ken Garden stuff,
yeah.
we just thought it was like super cool that he was holding these little contests and,
Right. Yeah.
you know, just making it look sweet. We
Yeah.
just wanted to be as cool as Weens.
right. Well, I think at that time him and Rice were, you know, going to visual arts college or, you know, something for filming, directing and
yeah.
stuff. So they definitely incorporated that stuff. I remember a few of the videos of them just showcasing the trick lists for whatever, you know,
Yeah,
Ken
totally.
Garden. Yeah, and them like just like slaying tricks on the trains and like different places, but definitely the visuals were something.
Hell yeah.
If you hunt around the Kendama Edmonton YouTube channel, there's a bunch of mini edits like we mentioned, but there's also a bunch of just other stuff on it, and there's literally videos that are exactly that, of just like, here's the trick ladder for like beginner, intermediate, advanced for like next week's contest or whatever. There's a bunch of those that are pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not like good edits, but they're like good as far as being pieces of kendama history, I guess.
Oh yeah.
If most kids go watch that now, they'd just be like, "What is this?
Yeah.
Around the world, around USA?
Yeah.
This guy's garbage."
Yeah. But come on, I think there's a good amount of young generation slayers who maybe aren't as consistent on those basic tricks. You know?
Oh, totally.
You're probably right.
Yeah, I think that's always been like one kind of thing you notice with like it's nothing like bad, like nothing against it. It's just how it is. But with like newer players,
Yeah.
every generation, like people come in and they want to like they get some of the basic stuff down, and then they want to learn the hard tricks. Mm-hmm. And
Right.
so it's funny because you always meet dudes who've been playing, or not just dudes, you know, you meet people who've been playing for a while that they can do some kind of hard tricks, but then you do like a round bird or something that's kind of like
Yeah.
something that like
Yeah,
most
kinda-
Yeah.
long-time players have honed, and they just don't have a hope of like getting something like that.
You
Right,
don't even
right.
get the first one kind of thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, back in the day, the tricks weren't crazy, so you had no choice but to just hone like the more
Yeah.
basic stuff right from the start.
No, the
Right.
basic stuff was the crazy stuff back in the day, man.
That's just it.
Yeah.
I remember you saying that you were gonna quit the second that you landed lunar because that was it.
Yeah.
There was no
Yeah, I
shit
mean-
beyond that.
Legit.
No, that's legit.
that
man.
was the pinnacle.
Me and Ben both, like we had this conversation. Like,
Yeah.
when one of us does lunar, like there's nothing else. What are we gonna do?
We're
That's
done.
it. Yeah, you've
Little
conquered.
did we know.
That's you've climbed Mount Everest. Like it's it.
Yeah.
We had like a TK16 with the slipperiest paint ever. Just struggling.
Yeah.
It was
Dude,
good, man.
so you said you bought like 100 Damas from the Ozora place,
Yeah,
Yamagata
that's right.
Kobo. Did you get any lucky paints? Because I've had a few friends here in Japan who are like hardcore JKA people, and they have a few Damas, normal Ozoras, but the paint turns into this weird like grippy thing, and they're like old paint.
Yeah, I mean, back at that point, it was like the OG. Like when people say OG Ozora, like that's kind of what it refers to as
Yeah.
that old generation of paint.
Yeah.
They switched their formula eventually because they started to export a bunch of kendamas to the U.S. because the U.S. market started to grow. And there was a recall on Ozora kendamas, and I think some Shinfujis too, because they used a type of paint that wasn't allowed in children's toys in the U.S.
Right.
And so that's the point where Ozora like totally switched their formula, and like that's when the yellow Ozora came out. So like yellows are not OG Ozoras, like technically.
Yeah.
Not true
But
OG.
that old,
like second
yeah.
generation OG.
Yeah, I mean, what does OG mean at this point?
The almost OG.
Yeah.
AOG.
But that older paint
Just missed.
was like the best paint of the day. Like
It was
it
like
had like a grip. Like when we got we bought yellow Zoras when they first dropped. Like the first time a Japanese site put them up, I bought it like the first day because we were deep Dama nerds and we wanted it first.
yeah.
And me and Ben both got one, and they showed up like 5 days later. We were so hyped. Like
Whoa.
we're probably some of the first people in North America to get them.
Yeah.
And we were so bummed. It was like mine, like, that was before weight matching was even remotely a thing. And I still remember just being like, whoa, like the Tama was like crazy heavy.
Yeah.
Like super noticeable. To the point where these days people would probably barf if they like held these two things in their hands.
Right.
By like 30 grams. And
Or at
the
least
paint was
write
just
like an
slick
article
and,
online
like,
saying,
Yeah,
crying about it,
exactly.
you know?
I'm going on FKC. I'm going to tell everybody.
Yeah.
No, and they were just like, the paint was different. Like they were slippery. Like the OG Ozoras,
Yeah.
if you kind of put it in the cup and just like rubbed it around a bit, it would kind of just like the paint would come off into the cup a little bit,
Yeah.
and it would
Yes,
get this nice
yes.
grippy thing going between them. And the new ones didn't do that at all.
Yeah.
Like it was just, it
And
was
if you
kind of
did
like
that
this-
right, if you did that right, it wouldn't come apart. It would just stick there. You could hold it like upside down, and it would still stick there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
So it was crushing when they came out with the yellow. 'Cause
Right. Oh,
that-
man.
I mean, legit. I went on the Japanese sites. I still have a box and just bought. I can't even remember. I bought like 10 or 15 of the OG greens.
yeah.
And then the Japanese website emailed me and was like, "Oh, sorry, like our stock count's all messed up. We only have like 3." And I was so sad. So in the end, I bought out all of like the OG greens they had, and then all of the green tower ball and all of the green like 5 cup, like all the weird Uzora kendamas from like a decade ago.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
I
to
just
get
literally
the ball.
bought like every green one
get
they
the
had,
top.
and then just a bunch of natty Uzoras
Oh,
too.
word.
So I still have a box of greens that when I'm like 50 years old, I'm going to just pop open a fresh green and be like, this was Kendama.
Oh, man.
Back in the day. Have a good, wholesome JK experience.
Hopefully it still lasts up. You know, like, have you ever
Yeah.
had like a rubber band that you put outside for like
honestly,
5 years and you go back, you're like,
Yeah,
oh, there's
yeah.
this thing, and it just disintegrates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I hope not. Like, the paint's just falling off.
Oh man.
Although, the thing is, some of those OG Uzoras do get very eggy.
Yes.
Like,
Yes,
yeah.
they do.
So, I remember looking a while ago, and one of the, like, OGs I have stuffed in a box that's still in package was definitely pretty egged out. But that's just how Damas were back in the day. Like,
Yeah,
quality
truly.
control was a lot more slack.
Yeah.
We didn't even think about those things back in the day. There was no thought even put into that. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this
Because
one's
there was
just
no,
good. It's just,
No one demanded it.
Exactly,
No one cared
yeah,
about
yeah.
that kind of stuff at that time.
It
So
wasn't
there
there
wasn't
yet.
any need to have, Damas made to spec that kind of spec because no one asked for that spec.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And same with like the difference of the weight matching stuff and Tama being heavier. It's like throwing tricks weren't so popular for JKA. So like it doesn't matter. You don't need it to be matched to just swing up to bird or something.
Yeah, no, exactly. Although, I mean, like, honestly, like, Uzora seems pretty on point. I think, like, the Mugans were kind of the same. They were always beechwood Kens with cherrywood Tamas,
Yes.
which is pretty
yes.
smart because the Tama has more volume, so the cherrywood's a little bit lighter, so you kind of get the same mass. And the cherrywood's softer, too, so then your spike doesn't get as beat.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Like, the Japanese manufacturers, they had some of, like, that tech production stuff dialed in. It's just now people are, like, particular in much deeper
Yeah.
kind of ways.
Do you think that that's pretty weird because I think no one else has done that, right? In any other Kendama company, or at least, towards the beginning when Kendama USA and Sweets was starting, there was no, I mean, it was just, right? Iwata-san, when he was creating his Musos, or his Mugens, that he would do the same thing, Beach Ken, Cherry, Tama.
Yeah, I wonder, because I don't think the kind of 90s JK Damas were like that.
I don't know.
I don't think
Oh,
they
really?
are. I have a couple of 90s. Like, there's, like, Fujis and Sakuras, and I think they're just,
Just straight beach.
some of them are beach. I have a Sakura one, like a full cherrywood. But I don't think they use, like, two different for Ken and Tama.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not that I've seen. See, that might have been something that, like, Iwata brought to the game, honestly.
Oh, wow.
You'd have to ask him. He might know.
Oh man, yeah, I don't know, because those old school ones, I don't have too many of them. But when I was getting more into Dama, they were all the Tamas were all cherry.
Yeah. A lot of the JKA brands did that.
Yeah.
And actually, like, this is kind of a funny story. The Kendama USA, like, pro models, the first batch, like, Jeremy, like, that runs Kendama USA, like, understood the idea behind using, like, cherrywood for the Tamas.
Okay.
And so he asked, like, as far as I understand the story, he asked, like, the production factory to get cherrywood to make the Tamas for the pro models. And so the very first batch of Kendama USA pro mods is, like, beechwood Kens with what the factory called cherrywood, which was really babinga, which is, like, Brazilian cherry, like, very loosely. That's kind of like a misname for it, but it's kind of a name for it. And as far as I can tell, in China, when they, like, don't really know what the wood is, they just call it cherrywood to some extent. Because, like, when I visited the factory and we were looking at this piece of wood, and they were like, "Oh, that's red cherry," and I was kind of looking at it, and it was like, "Oh, this is paddock."
Oh
not-
man.
Like, that's not cherrywood, like, not even loosely. Like, yeah, it's red, but that's as far as their description was correct. So anyway, so Jeremy ordered, like, the first batch of these Kusa Pro mods were beechwood Ken with this cherrywood Tama.
Whoa.
But Babinga's, like, super heavy.
Yeah.
And so, like, that was one of the
And
turning
hard and
points, I
dense.
feel like, where players really realized that, like, some, not everybody really cares that much, but some players now, like, are like, oh, weight matching is a thing, because, like, most of those Tamas were probably 20 grams heavier than those Kens.
Yeah.
And it was like, I think, the batch of Damas arrived and everyone was kind of like, whoa. this is not quite what we want. And so they later did like the full cherry wood, like the full Babinga cans, which are actually like pretty sweet.
They're
like,
pretty legit.
Yeah, they're like one of the first like really heavy kind of weird wood kendamas that was available on the mass market.
Yeah.
Like those things were sick back in the day.
Oh yeah.
And then
Mine
the
is
next
like the Ozora stuff. But yeah.
like which ones?
Like Kayakis and like
yeah,
like
the Babinga Kayaki
hardwood.
is still kind of like normal weight range though.
Yeah.
Like the Babinga's heavier in a
no,
way
that's
that
true.
wasn't really
The heavy stuff, yeah. I guess they didn't make the ebonies until later either.
No.
yeah.
The
like, I mean,
Enjus,
like
some of the Enju Tamas are heavy. My
some of the
Enju
Enjus
Tama
were a
is
little
really
heavy.
heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them were a little lighter, but they were definitely more on the heavy side.
Mm-hmm.
So that answers the question
But yeah,
because
so that was
so
anyway, sorry to finish that story real quick.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
next generation of like the Kendama USA Pro mods were full beach and then like a full cherry wood. They didn't make the mistake
separate.
of mixing again because that's just you learn.
Yep.
yeah, so
A little
that
bit lost in
answers
translation.
right the whole cherry thing because I remember seeing those. What was it? The 2013 models.
Maybe
No, that would have been
When I started seeing them, so it was after the
would've been
first set. It was
2012.
the animal spirit animal ones that I saw first.
So those were the ones that had like the proper like beach cherry.
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah. So I saw the cherry, and I remember seeing it. I'm like, in Japan, I'm like, this is like really heavy. I'm like, and the color looks different than the cherry Tamas that I have in my Ozoras. I'm like, I don't think this is like the same cherry. I'm like, maybe it's like cherry, like a cherry bush tree in America, and that's what they call cherry. And then in Japan, it's just lost in translation, but it should be like sakura. It's like cherry blossom tree. I'm like, and that's why it's different. But it's like, no, the Chinese manufacturer is just lazy with naming their woods.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a little bit lost in translation here and there.
Yeah.
And it's funny how like these little things kind of persist, turn into. Now everybody just knows that as like the Cherrywood, Kendama USA, whatever.
Well, now hopefully some of the nerds will know if you hear about a Kendama and it has cherry wood, don't believe shit. You don't know what kind of wood that is. It's gonna be black cherry, white cherry, red cherry.
And I mean that's
purple
not even
cherry.
Just cherry. Like there's a lot of wood names that are like very kind of generously used, like rosewood.
Oh yeah.
Like a very kind of wide-reaching term. Like the true rosewoods come from the genus Dalbergia.
Ooh.
So
No one knows
any
what that is.
Dalbergia
Pulling out some
species,
science speak for us.
that's one of the few like wood scientific names I know. I'm not like an encyclopedia for this.
I needed to get that one out.
Any species in Dalbergia is like a true rosewood, but there's a lot of other stuff that's just kind of slapped with this rosewood term that's
because
Let's just smell really
it is what it is, but I mean, that's the thing. The true rosewoods, when you cut them and work with them, they smell really nice. Like the name comes from the actual smell of the wood when you're working with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, rosewoods like that. There's like cherries like that with a name. Even ebony is like not super loose, but there's a couple. I don't know, kind of weird, cheaper ebonies and things.
Oh man,
There's
Ebonai.
been some weird ebony kendamas that I've seen.
Yeah, dude. Oh, what's up with those bamboo ones? Why are some bamboos like? Is it like shredded bamboo and like almost like a corrugated board that's
Like
just
the
like
really heavy
packed
one?
together? Yeah, and they look disgusting.
Yeah, that's different type of bamboo, right?
Yeah, I mean, like if you think about what a bamboo plant looks like it's not like a tree with like a solid trunk.
Yeah.
So the way they make any bamboo,
I mean, it's grass. It's in the grass family.
Yeah,
from what I've heard.
I think so.
Yeah, it's not a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that they have to process it to get, like a block of it.
Yeah.
And I've never seen the process. It's probably kind of cool to see, but somewhere or another they kind of, I don't know, split it, flatten it.
Right.
Laminate layers of it. A lot of the time, like with kendamas, you see each layer kind of being a little bit of a different color. Like
right.
Alternating.
Yeah.
That's literally just done for aesthetics. Like they can just, treat some of it to darken it up. And then they just make it alternating because people like how that looks.
Right. I think I remember the Bray mod, his superhero mod, when he released the bamboo one, he didn't have that alternative color.
Yeah. So I think Wyatt specifically requested just the darker cut only.
Yeah.
But then the stuff you're talking about, it's like the super hard press
From like Kenko. Kenko's old school. Like,
Kenko had some. Soul had some of those. Those are crazy. Those are super heavy.
They're super fun,
but
yeah.
those things, I think,
they're probably just filled with glue.
Yeah. All that weight comes from the glue. Like, I think it's kind of the scrap bamboo, like just chunks that they press super hard with a ton of glue.
Yeah.
And then you get this behemoth of a kendama.
Oh, man.
Like those things, I have one. I think the Soul one I have is like like 120 or 130 grams, like per half.
Man.
Yeah, it's super heavy. Like just straight up glue.
Damn. All right. Well, that's a lot of. We went in hard right now, Dama nerds.
Yeah, we're going on some deep tangents.
36 minutes into it. We learned the bond between Alex and Kristin and Rod and how they met each other and got to know one another, and then we went into the different types of woods and shits, which that's good. We had some scientific words being dropped. And now we're going to roll
Edmonton.
in Kendama Edmonton. That's the homework for everyone. Go search on YouTube. Now you know. Yeah. But let's go over to events, because everyone's talking about NACO. And that is one that's coming up. But there is a big event that's happened, that's growing, getting bigger and bigger every year. A lot of people talking about it. It is the Van Jam, held by Tara Kendamas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think a lot of people are maybe scared to travel to Canada for this. I'm telling you, everyone, the nicest people I've known are Canadian. So don't be scared. Make the trek over to Canada for Van Jam.
Come on out for a rip, eh?
Yeah. And don't let the recent, like, Instagram videos of, like, seeing Rick's butt and stuff scare you. Just, like, just go. All right? You know, not...
Does that make it to Instagram?
It's easy, man. Like, Vancouver is... It's hardly even over the border.
Yeah.
Like, at least for the Americans.
I'm like a 30-minute drive from the border right now. Like, it's so easy. Come on, America.
Yeah.
Get your passport. If you're in Washington, get your... a driver's license plus whatever the heck it is.
Get on a bus.
Get the things you need to get over the border and come to Van Jam.
Now, just to let you guys know, I mean, I already told Rod about this, but I think it was the first flyer that you had an actual picture of a van on the flyer talking about advertising for Van Jam. And until, what was it, Rod? Like last month?
Like a couple episodes ago or some
shit
we were talking.
Yeah, I was like, wait. Yo, I think it was like an epiphany. I was like, yo, does van mean Vancouver? And that's why it's Van Jam? I thought you guys were like rolling around like, because I was thinking the Roots tour, Ken Garden style, where they had a van and they were going around. Okay. And I was like, oh, okay, so Tara's doing it too. I'm like, that's cool. Yeah. Van Jam.
Honestly, that would be cool, man. Roots tour was super fun.
But you guys are actually in Vancouver.
Yeah, no, Van is in Vancouver. But I think you're probably thinking of last year, Norcross kind of advertised a mini tour where he jumped in the van with Mel and a bunch of other homies that drove up.
Yeah.
Thing too.
And so they kind of did this little mini van tour to Van Jam.
Van Jam, yeah.
So that probably helped add to it. Because, a lot of, I mean, like, Kristin could probably talk more about it, but a lot of the branding of Van Jam has always been like, just like toast and jam. Like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just all of that in the imagery. It's, I don't know. That's
well,
kind of our
it's just
staple
a play
now.
on like jamming and being
and
in
jam.
Vancouver.
Right.
It's like quite literal. It's very much a pun, but yeah, it's always been about jam and toast. And this year about blackberries, because blackberries grow like wild, like weeds in Vancouver. So I figured it was just an extra play on the play of jam and toast.
Oh man, so the next step
straight to the stores.
The next step up is just like incorporating the pot leaf and then just Bob Marley, because he is jamming. He wants to jam with you.
I wanna jam it with you.
We jamming.
We'll just drive around in a van until we get arrested for just looking a little too creepy. It's like, what are these people doing in this van with these children's toys? Who are they trying to entice?
Totally fine, yeah.
The adults. I swear.
So let's have a small. Give me like a short rundown of how Van Jam was created, and then we'll move over to how this past Van Jam went down.
Ooh, okay. To throw it all the way back to Van Jam 1, it was very impromptu, kind of last minute planning. It was before Van Jam, there was an event in Seattle for a few years called Battle in Seattle.
Oh, yeah.
And that was always an interesting one. Like, it was like the event of the Northwest, that, it was like the spot everyone wanted to make it every year.
Yeah.
And so the last year they did it, the event was on a Saturday, and it was, I think, Labor Day long weekend. So I think Sunday they kind of planned to have a hangout after in the park, jam, whatever. But back in Vancouver, because Battle in Seattle was Seattle area, obviously, which is only like a 3-hour drive.
Near Seattle. It wasn't in Seattle. It was the battle near Seattle.
Battle in Edmonton.
Yeah.
That was the joke.
Yo, that's totally cool.
So back in Vancouver on the Sunday was the Canadian National Yo-Yo Contest.
Ooh.
And in those days, we were kind of like a little bit closer, hanging out with a bunch of the yo-yo pros, and like CLYW was a yo-yo company out of Edmonton that we were pretty good friends with for like a few years, and we were like still in Edmonton. So we came back up to Vancouver to just show off Kendama, run a little booth, just have a good time with the yo-yo thing. And so
that was a good time. That was at the Science Center.
Yeah, it was at the Science Center. Great. Oh my God. And it poured rain. We had a big crew, so we convinced as many people as we could to come back to Vancouver, Sunday do this event, and then Monday we were going to do Van Jam. And we were just like, hey, everybody's in Seattle for this contest. Let's try and just bring as many of the homies as we can over the border because it's close.
Is that when it was
only a few
like
hours.
Just in a park?
We had just moved Tara to
Vancouver. We were just in the workshop, which is across the street from the park. We had just moved Tara there, so it was kind of like this shop opening, one of the first things we did in like the new workshop kind of thing. And we actually got a pretty good crew. I remember Sunday when we went to the yo-yo thing, there were so many people that we didn't have enough room to like sleep at like our apartment. So we just had everybody sleep in the workshop. And in the morning we got up and we were going to walk down to the venue, which is like a 10-15 minute walk from the Tara shop is like where the yo-yo thing was happening.
Yeah.
But it was pouring rain.
Yeah.
Like, we still did it.
Brutally, savagely pouring rain.
Like, Vancouver is a rainforest, and it was raining like it's in a rainforest.
Man.
Downpour rain.
We had a rental car because we had a bunch of homies, and so I drove like a few people to the venue that had some of the gear we needed. Everybody else walked, and then I had to drive the rental car back downtown, drop it off at this place, and then drive all the way back. Or sorry, not drive all the way back, and then walk all the way back. So I bought an umbrella from like this corner store, which didn't do shit for my feet. So like upper body was okay, but from like knees down was just fully soaked. So I got to the Science Center and was just literally barefoot all day.
Everyone else was
in the lobby, like playing Dama, just looking like a bum because all my stuff was soaked, but it's just like there's nothing else to do at that point. Like we had to be there running this booth and all of this.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was.
That was like the first Van Jam. It was very impromptu. So the next day was like Van Jam, and just it was all like the focus from the start wasn't like, hey, we're having this big contest. Like who's the winner gonna be? It was like, yo, we can just invite people back to our shop, celebrate the fact we just opened this place up. Like we had this awesome spot right across from the park. I mean, like it was very OG for the days. Like even to the point that Colin Sander won.
Yeah.
Colin Sander, that was the biggest thing he ever won at like the end of like him playing Dama like a lot. He beat Rod.
I got second.
Oh shit.
Was it? No, Tomotsu got second. You were third.
No, I got second. Tomotsu got third.
Tomotsu was third?
Oh, okay. Nice. Tomotsu was there.
Yeah, that was when Tomotsu and Koda met for the first time.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
There was a pretty deep
Japanese
Japanese squad that year. There was like a good 6 or 8 Japanese people, I think.
Yeah.
Not everyone from like Gloken or anything. There's people who were like living in Vancouver, just happened to be around and shit like that.
Yeah, and Koda was living in Vancouver at the time.
Yeah.
And met Tomotsu, and that's kind of how he
that was part of what
Gloken.
planted the seed.
Yeah.
So that was the origin of it.
And it hasn't gotten any more organized since.
I wouldn't say that. But I mean that's kind of one of the keys to it. I think is we've always focused on like we just want to bring people out to have a good time, to share the love of Kendama. Like, it's not about the contest. I mean, pretty much every year, I think my spiel where I'm kind of just running people through it day of, like, there is a contest, but in my opening spiel, I literally just make fun of, like, the person who won last year because they tried too hard. Make sure everybody doesn't try too hard. If you play games of Dama, and honestly, like, if you want to just come in and be a grumpy little brat and win, doing your, like, tricks that you know other people can't do, like, you can do it, but that's like antithetical to the idea of Van Jam. Like, that's not what we want you to do. And you know what? If you do that, cool, you did that, but now everybody else is going to talk smack for like years to come. So like, what did you really win here? You know, that's the idea. Is it's more about just getting out, being able to share like a good time with friends, see people from, you know, far off places you don't get to see. Like Rolf came this year. That's awesome. Like all the way from Denmark. Yeah.
With a broken foot.
Yeah, the guy messed his foot up like a day or two ago on his bike. He like wiped out and just his ankle was swollen.
Was that before he got there, or was that during Van Jam?
Yeah.
Like 2 days before he came, kind of thing.
Rolf had a journey, man. So fast forward to this year. Rolf months ago was hitting me up saying he's trying to make it happen. So it was on my radar. I was pretty hyped. And finally this day came where he was like, yo, I just looked at flights. I don't know why, but they're so cheap right now. I'm going to book it. So, you know, I'm stoked. Rolf's coming. A few hours later, I get this text that's like, oh man, I really messed up, but like, I'll figure this out. I'm going to show up. And it's kind of like, okay, you know, wondering like what that's about. I think probably the next day he hits me up and he explains this whole thing to me that he booked himself a flight to Turkey. And I'm like, okay. like layover in Turkey. That's kind of like the wrong direction as far as, you know, I can imagine the flight path, but all right. And then he's like, no. Like he booked a round trip to Turkey because there's an airport in Turkey with with the airport code VAN.
No.
And so he just searched VAN, popped up some flight to Turkey, and he's like, I can't believe how cheap it is because it's much closer than Canada. And he's telling me this. He's like, I should have known, you know, there were so many things during the checkout. Red flags. Oh, like obviously I wasn't booking a flight to Vancouver. And he booked it through some like third-party booking site. So he didn't have cancellation, whatever. And so he's trying to get the money back for this flight. But I think he just got like sunk. Like that was just, he bought a flight to Turkey, didn't take it, had to buy a new flight to Vancouver.
Damn.
Whoa.
So finally gets himself booked, and then like 2 or 3 days before he comes, he calls me that he just wiped out, and he sounded so sad on the phone. Like it was like the most depressed Rolf I've ever heard. I kind of felt bad for the dude. He was just like, oh, I wiped out on my bike. Like my foot's really messed up.
I still have to pay that ticket for Turkey.
And Rolf was, we asked him to perform in the gala show. Like at the end of it, this is kind of a whole other story, but we combined Van Jam with a juggling festival this year. And so there's a big show at the end, and Rolf was supposed to be in it. And Rolf has been to like a big juggling festival in EJC in Europe before. So he has an idea of what gala shows look like. And the EJC gala show is like the pinnacle of circus and performance kind of stuff. Like they invite like the top of the top. Wow. So Rolf's idea of the gala show is like highly professional. And so that's what he's like expecting himself to come in and do. And the whole time I was trying to explain to him like, you know, this is a lot smaller scale festival. Yeah. There's still talented performers, and that's why we're asking you, but I don't want you to do some orchestrated thing. I want you to come in and do your Kendama thing. Like,
be Rolf.
Like, just be Rolf. Just get on stage. Bonds was with them. So like, you know, you guys just get on stage, do your freestyle, whatever. Like, you want to plan a little bit, sweet. But, you know, we want like you to represent Kendama. We don't want you to like bend Kendama to fit the gala show mold.
Right. Okay.
So he was sad about it. He was just bummed on that. And I mean, I was trying to explain to him, like, you know what, man, if you don't perform, whatever, it doesn't even matter. Just come hang out because it'll be worth doing it. And he came, and I think he had a sweet time in the end. I hope he can come back, you know, not all hobbled up, but, yeah, poor Rolf.
Yeah, man.
Rolf
booked himself a flight to Turkey. Oh my God.
Oh man.
And that's crazy that, because there's that one juggler homie that during the gala show, when he was performing, he ran up into the stands and then he ran down. and he like messed up his ankle during the show.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's the same foot as Rolf. Got that foot curse.
It's foot curse, man. It is
this
foot
year.
curse. Oh my god. Have you guys ever talked about foot curse?
No, I don't think we have, man.
Oh, wow.
No.
I don't know if we should.
Is this like athlete's foot?
No, it's
No,
worse,
it's
bud. It's worse.
For a very long
Yeah.
time, within kind of like, I don't know, like pro Kendama people traveling,
Yeah.
it's like almost like so many major events, somebody has just bunged up a foot
Somehow.
real bad. I've been afflicted a few times, so
Oh, so
I have
have I.
firsthand experience. Kristin got it once. She almost lost her foot.
I almost lost my foot. Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, no, dead serious. First MKO. Was it first MKO?
It was.
It was in the train house.
Yeah,
first MKO.
First MKO, we all got there, and I got like a small cut on my foot, and like cleaned it up all good, and I thought it was gonna be all fine. And no, next day I had a staph infection in my foot and had to go to the hospital
Oh, damn.
overnight with IV antibiotics, and like missed the entire MKO event. Like I didn't see a single cups like or spike or anything. Like, yeah. So I was in the hospital for all of MKO. Almost lost my foot. It was awful.
Yeah, that was gnarly.
Yeah, it was-
Yeah.
We were just like, no, it's probably okay, man.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
here, just smoke this joint a little bit, have a beer, it'll feel better.
It's
like,
not okay.
not okay, yeah.
The doctor's
man.
like, good thing you came. We
Yeah.
might have to chop your foot off. And we're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was, what was the start of foot curse? Like,
Turner, I think.
Maybe.
Turner was the first one, I think
think
to break his foot
on the
Roots
first
tour.
Roots tour,
Yeah.
I couldn't go on the first Roots tour because I had like a course in university ended like right in the middle of it, but I got to go and meet them for like the end at Battle in Seattle, and Turner showed up like on crutches and like with a cast on because I think he rolled his ankle skating one night, like after a tour stop. They just went to a skate park.
Oh, okay.
So
there
that was, I think,
yeah.
the start of it.
Yes, there was Turner, me, you've
I've got it a couple
broken
times.
What
a
about
couple
Scott?
times.
Scott, didn't
Oh,
he?
Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Scott maybe got it the worst. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
that was,
I mean,
that was
that's
more,
some crazy shit.
you know,
No one knows that story, I don't think.
No.
I mean, some people
Question
do. Okay,
marks.
I mean, whoever
One of
was at
our-
Battle in
one of our
Seattle
homies,
knows that
Scott,
story.
Yeah.
He's in some of the old Kendama Edmonton videos. You might
Yeah.
see him. He's an old skier buddy, super tall dude. Like used to shred Dama with
The
us.
homie.
He was at Battle in Seattle. Maybe the second
one?
last year they did it.
Yeah, they only did 3.
It was the
I think
second. It was the end of the
one.
second Roots tour. I remember. He
It was
in
2014 because I was in Europe.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that was the third one then. I don't know. It was the
Oh.
second or third one.
Anyway, the hotel we all kind of stayed at was. I guess kind of like a travel lodge motel, so all the doors open to a balcony, and so it's just like 3 stories of balconies going up.
Well, okay.
Kind of all in a line where the doors open, and we had like the majority of the place rented out, and people were just kind of up all night in between rooms, having beers. And the hotel was changing the mattresses on all the beds. And so outside of one of the doors of the rooms, they just had like this giant stack of all the old mattresses, like just sitting kind of like in the planter, like little grassy area, beside the walkway up to the doors.
Oh,
Perfectly
shit.
in line under
The
multiple
balconies.
stories of balconies up above.
Yeah.
So being a bunch of stupid ass kids,
Oh,
everybody's going up to the second story balcony and jumping off onto the mattresses. And
oh
it's
shit.
pretty chill. Like, you know, you kind of do a little bounce, jump off the mattress, pretty chill.
And we're talking like 6+ mattresses, so it's
Yeah.
not like you're
it was like
landing
a
on one
stack
mattress.
of mattresses.
Yeah.
And so eventually a couple of people decided to brave going up like one more flight to the top. And so they're going off like the second story. So now it's like probably a 15-foot drop or so
Right.
onto these mattresses. So I think there's probably like GoPro footage of, I don't even know,
Quite a
like
few.
there was probably like half dozen different people who sent it off the top.
I've for
Whoa.
sure seen pictures at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few good old ones. There's some crazy footage of Jord doing like a flip off of this hotel into a pool from Roots Tour 2, but anyway. So Scott, I think, did the second story and then wanted to do it again, went back up, and somewhere in like an email, I think Rice had a video of it he sent to me. And they're kind of like, he's kind of like, goes over the balcony railing and he's like hanging off the outside. And I can't remember, he like says like some funny like little line and then hops off. And the top mattress was kind of like twisted off to the side. So part of it was overhanging and not stacked on the other mattresses.
Yeah.
And he kind of landed like feet first on that. And so it just like kind of went out and like cushioned him a little bit, but he pretty much fell like a story and a half, 2 stories, and just like landed on like one mattress on the concrete. Because like it just kind of like went off the stack. Like the top one just overhanging. He just kind of like slid off with him.
Yeah.
And yeah, like all things considered, like he landed pretty solid, but he rolled his ankle like really hard when he did it. And like it was like a year later, like that he was finally kind of healed up. Like he had to wait and get surgery. He couldn't ski all that year. And he was like a extremely talented, like avid skier.
Damn.
Like he was like, we used to have like a snowboard crew, like ski crew. And Scott was like one of the best skiers, I thought. Like just
he was crazy, man.
super like
dude. He was crazy enough to jump off of stuff. two floors off of this fucking balcony hotel.
I mean, like he was confident and could send it off stuff, and he was like had good control and everything. Like so, I was always like super bummed that he got hurt that way and like couldn't ride for a while. He's back skiing now, I think, but. Yeah, so that's a gnarly version of foot curse, man. Oh my god, we gotta stop talking about foot curse.
Man,
watch
but there
out for
it
your
is.
feet.
So it is a
All
thing.
you Dama nerds, you think like your hands are important, but when you can't like bend your ankle or your knee, it's hard to play kendama. You know, protect that body.
Oh yeah, eat your vegetables, nerds.
Eat the vegetables. Stay strong. Man, okay. So then this year, Van Jam, I think there was how many people? Well, you collaborated with Mad Skillz.
Yeah.
Right?
So we collaborated with Mad Skillz.
First time.
Like local juggling festival. Yeah, it's the first time we've done it together. We have kind of been around Mad Skillz for, I don't know, the last like 2 or 3 years.
You guys would show them your Mad Skills. They would show you theirs.
Exchange.
Yeah,
we'd go and like
exchanging
do a little
skills.
bit of kendama stuff. We ran a booth once or twice as like a vendor.
Yeah, I did some workshops.
Rod did some workshops.
And
I did a workshop
performed.
1 year.
I did the gala show the first year too.
Yeah. So we've kind of been involved a little bit, but this year it was like the official combining of the events, like the collaboration, which I think was pretty sweet. Like some parts of it,
I enjoyed it.
Were very separate, and people didn't interact a lot. But at certain points, it was more like one big group than kind of 2 groups doing their own thing. And
the prop
some of those
battle.
parts were awesome. The prop battle.
So
Prop
good.
battle was one of the best.
Versus the girl,
The lady.
the juggling. Yeah, she was the juggling girl. Oh, that was such a good battle.
Bonds versus the guy with the ball.
Dude,
when Bonds
yeah.
was just like possessed and just
I wish
chucking
we
this
had
ball
video
around
of
for
that
like a
because-
minute.
Dude,
Oh my god!
Somebody should have.
So
recorded
we
that.
got to give the listeners some context here. The prop battle is basically just imagine like catch and flow format where it's like freestyle, it's a quick qualifying thing, and then the judges pick their faves and they go head to head, like back and forth in like some final rounds. But it's just anything. You just bring a prop. And so that's like a circus thing, right? Like anything can be a prop.
Yeah.
So
One
like
guy had a
kendama
raincoat.
one guy had a raincoat. And he made it to the finals. Like he was doing some crazy stuff because it's about showmanship too and like dance and like using the stage. And so like you get
And
up
the
there
crowd, too,
and shred
responding to
Dama
the
and
crowd.
play, but if you're not like doing it as someone on a stage should to like entertain some people, like you know, you're not going to score the points. With at least with like, you know, those judges. I guess every judging panel is going to be different, but there were some awesome matchups of like a kendama player versus you know, a Mad Skillz, like a juggler, a hooper, a whatever. And sometimes, you know, like if there's a tie with the judging, they have an extra round where they have to switch props.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so they have to like use the other person's prop. And so there was like, Rolf was up there swinging a hula hoop around.
It was incredible.
With a busted ass foot. Like Bonds was just doing his Bonds stuff. Like Bonds almost won. He made it to the finals.
Won.
With a teddy bear.
Yeah, Bonds, they did one round with
yeah.
a raincoat and a teddy bear.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
And it was some moments like that, like, it was amazing. And I hope, like, all the kendama players enjoyed it. There were some people that were there that were like, you know, they just want to play Dama in the corner.
Yeah,
they're there
they
to
didn't
sesh
give a
with the
shit
homies.
about
They didn't really
Yeah.
care. But I hope at least, like, a few moments, like, you know, they enjoyed that there was, like, additional stuff going on that was, you're never going to find these weird situations anywhere else. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you
Especially
can't
like
reproduce
the
that.
Renegade show got a little out of
yeah.
hand for some of the Dama homies, I think.
Yeah, like, that was,
What's a renegade
You're
show?
not gonna reproduce
Renegade,
that.
yeah, the
The Renegade show. You go.
I'll go. Okay. So the Renegade show is like a thing that happens within the juggling community, like at festivals and stuff. where they basically have a time set aside on the stage. They have one person to kind of host it, and it's called a renegade show. So it's like put on by the people for the people kind of thing. So you're supposed to just sit and watch your friends. You can go up and sit in, there's like a few chairs on the side of the stage that you sit in to wait to get up on stage next. And then, like, the person hosting is usually giving out, like, shots of whiskey or, like, crazy shit. Like, it could be anything.
Show, basically.
Yeah.
Like
you're encouraged to heckle each other, like, try new acts, like, just
audience,
do something crazy, like...
Yeah, audience participation is not only encouraged, but, like, necessary. A strong necessity to make it work and make it, like, a fun show.
Yeah, and it, like, gets kind of crazy, you know? That's all based... Yeah. And so, the last year and this year, there was, like, this rule at Renegade Show that was, like, if you go do your trick, if you drop or, like, you miss your trick or whatever, then you have to take off, like, one piece of clothing.
In order to keep trying.
In order to keep going. And that's like up to you where
most
you...
renegade shows I've seen.
I've heard it's not usually like that.
No?
No, yeah, it's only like a few because it's like way less inclusive that way for people, you know, and it's... I was talking to some people about it afterwards and just like some points I didn't really think of before, and I was kind of like, ooh, that does suck, like, I get that, like...
Yeah, but at the same time, it's basically the idea is that you're supposed to do something, like, it's not supposed to be a super refined act. It's supposed to be, like, a short, quick thing that you get up and you do this, like, whatever your act is on stage, and people either love it or tell you to get off the stage, as they're quite literally encouraged to do.
You got, like, tomatoes and rotten eggs to throw.
People were throwing beer cans, bud.
So the whole point is that if you have to take off a piece of clothing in order to keep trying, if you miss, it's more of an encouragement of like, get the fuck off the stage because you're missing.
No, totally.
Yeah.
So it's more a deterrent than
unless you're a hooper girl and there is no missing. And they just keep flowing.
And they just keep going
until you like kill the music and they're like, oh, okay, yeah.
And nobody knows. It's like, was she supposed to do that? Was that the part of the thing? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No, I feel that with like being less inclusive, but it also does, like Kristin's saying, it is kind of like the natural limiter. Because I've seen, not so much this year, but at Mad Skillz Renegade Show one of the years before, there was a few people who would go up and just try some, like, juggling stunts. And if they don't do it, they're just like, okay, that's me. And they get off the stage.
Yeah.
And, like,
that's quick try.
That's what Renegade Show can be.
That's what it should
It's just like, okay, here's your, like, 15 seconds of fame, jump in the spotlight, do something cool, and like if you miss, get off the stage.
Yeah. Next.
Yeah.
And so like if you really want to keep going, like
you got to put on a show.
There's got to be like a consequence. I feel like a little bit, or you need a ruthless MC
or something. Yeah. There has to be something. But the point that was brought up to me was just like for women especially, you know, like if a girl gets on stage and she has to take her shirt off versus a guy taking his shirt off is a completely different thing, and it's a whole bag of worms that we don't have to get into, but
no, it's relevant. It's relevant.
It is relevant.
But so I guess this year's Renegade Show, I don't know exactly why, but I volunteered to MC. I mean, it was fun, but oh my god, it was like a whole lot to do. So that was the rules. It was basically, you know, get on stage, do something cool. It's got to be quick. It's got to be funny. It's got to be awesome. And if it's not two of those things, get off the stage. And if you miss, you take off a piece of clothing. If you land it, I should mention this was a 19 plus part of the event. That was the only part where, you know, past a certain time in the venue, it was like, okay, like adults only. It's 19 plus now. We had a liquor license to serve beer. So, you know, so it was like, that's the environment. So you get if you come on stage and you do your thing and you land it, and you accomplish it, whatever, you get a beer.
Yep.
I give you a drink ticket. And you also get to spin the prize wheel.
Ooh,
and
prize wheel.
There's a bunch of stuff on the prize wheel. And yeah, it was great. Like it started funny and just like had a couple like awesome moments, a couple like hilarious things.
Couple
like
crazy, like what the fuck kind of moments.
Total bizarro, like.
But that's just part of being a part of a show like that because the audience is so engaged that it's really hard to describe it if you're not there. Like every Renegade show is different, but
yeah.
And like describing it almost makes us sound crazy.
Yeah,
at parts at least. Not almost. It definitely
does.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's just, it's one of those things that it's really like whatever the audience brings to the table is what the show is. Like there's, you know, I can be up there and like MC and kind of like push things along and try and smooth it out and keep things going, but ultimately, like people from the audience have got to be encouraged enough to come up there, do something, and have it hopefully be actually entertaining.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple moments where it's like, you know, I'm going to go get another drink, I guess. But that's like the same thing. Like the audience,
that's up to the audience to be like, yeah, cool, get off the stage.
Yeah. Because it's just like shows like that. There's like this flow and ebb, and you got to kind of run with it. And I think it went really well though. I think we.
No, I don't know so much of the juggling world, but from what you were just saying, it seems like that people are, and like thinking about, I don't know, I've seen some jugglers and like people talk about it like online or something, and they seem more of a open, kind of like friendly, communicative, like community of like, no one's better than each other. We're all like, it's all difficult and we all have different types of skills, where Kendama is kind of looked at more of the competition style where, oh man, you're so good, like I don't want to. It's like when you go to a music store and you're looking at all the guitars and you're like, I want to kind of play that, but then there's someone like shredding in the back. You're like, I don't want to play that now.
I mean, honestly, and that's like exactly what we try to accomplish to some extent with Van Jam, because I think the like contest and competitive like aspect of Kendama is awesome, and it's always going to be there, but that's
not for everybody.
Not the reason everybody plays. And
right.
And so like a sort of like a parallel, I've seen a good chunk of like the yo-yo world and professional yo-yoing.
Yeah.
And it's their kind of like meta seems to focus much more on contest, and like the contests are very technical. Like they have a very rigorous kind of point system on, you know, kind of objectively how many times you tap it off the string and like all these things. And it sort of turns the whole meta of yo-yo into this like super intensive, competitive, super fast, crazy technical thing.
Yeah.
Which is like that's cool, but that's, you know, same thing. It's not for everybody, and so it's just kind of bringing back like that fun friends. You know, we're gonna have a contest and someone's gonna win, and certainly if you just walk in and watch like, you know, one of like the juggler homies who just picked up a kendama for the first time and clearly has some eye-hand coordination, can do a couple tricks. But then like Misu's right next to that guy, and Misu's just shredding like crazy around the clock bird tricks and like stalls and positions that you've never even seen. Yeah. And you're like, you know, like I could probably tell you who's better. But that's like not what it's about in that moment, right?
Right, right. We got to go back to
it's more like, you know, maybe the juggler. Yeah, like the juggler might have some crazy trick that can inspire Misu and vice versa. And
right.
That's kind of more what we're aiming for.
Yeah. Right. Again, as Chris Mayo says, that, you know, Kendama. That's what it's really all about. Just having fun with friends, getting together.
Did you say Chris Mayo?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you did. Nick Mayo.
Nick Mayo. Sorry, Chris.
No, actually,
/ Nick.
Yeah, Nick was gonna come to Van Jam this year, and he couldn't make it in the end. He was there last year, though.
Yeah.
He's one of the Wenatchee homies. He's in Portland now, so he's not too far away.
Nice. Yeah. Well, there you
Portland's
go.
Like 6 hours maybe drive.
But so to go back, sorry. It's as well as I just thought about it. Another thing that juggling has that makes it more communal is like the fact that people can juggle with each other. You know, where Kendama, it's just you.
Totally. Have you ever seen I always get the name wrong. Combat juggling,
combat clubs.
Combat clubs.
Yeah.
That's
right. I get names wrong too, dude.
Version.
Dude, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's like the reason I wanted to learn juggling clubs was that game.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a candlestick battle when you like have your candlestick and you try to knock each other's tama off without using your other hand, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Except you're juggling, so everybody has 3 clubs and you're juggling, and so like the people who are really good at it will take one club and huck it way the fuck in the air, and then like come at you like whacking your clubs. Like you get cranked in the hand all the time. Shit sucks. And then they'll catch the one they threw up way high and then keep juggling, and then like they're still in and you're out with a fucking broken finger.
Oh man.
It's a little ruthless, but it's super fun.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't take off with the Kendama world combat.
Yeah, no. And like people will steal your club too. Like Yuki was doing that to me because he's I'm fucking
Yeah.
weak as shit. He just like comes in, takes my club like out of the pattern and starts juggling 4. And I'm just like, fuck you, dude.
You gotta steal it back.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I could. Yeah. Not
Man,
there yet.
so
Coming
that's
for you though, Yuki.
It's pretty sweet to hear that the collaborating with Mad Skillz has introduced different types of events that Kendama players can enjoy. Do you think this is something that you would continue possibly? Like if, say, the next Van Jam wasn't with Mad Skillz, where you're like, yo, let's do a prop battle again.
That's a cool idea. I think that would be a good idea.
Because
last year at Van Jam, we did a Renegade show.
Yeah.
Oh.
One of our buddies who's now like a big Dama player, Yuki, he was one of the founders of Mad Skillz. He's like a professional juggler and performer. Like that's what he does as his job.
And teacher.
And a teacher, yeah. And so he'd been hanging out with us a lot and just offered to run a Renegade show at Van Jam.
Oh, okay.
And so last year we also had a very bizarre show.
Yeah.
It was only Kendama players, like jugglers weren't there outside of Yuki and maybe like 1 or 2 others.
Yeah.
But it was awesome.
So we've
done
control.
it. Yeah, it was wild.
Oh, okay,
man.
okay.
It was
Possibly crazier than this year. In
In
a
a different way.
Anyway.
yeah.
So we've definitely talked about doing more Renegade shows for
next year.
For next year, for Van Jam, for sure.
Yeah, I think some of the Dama homies are over it, but some of them are really down.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
There was a few, more than a few. There was a bunch of Dama players that jumped up on stage and did some good stuff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nathan like brought out his bike, and the stage was like a probably 2.5 foot, just kind of like curb up. Like there were stairs up to it. But Nathan like hopped up it on his bike and then was trying to just like track stand in the middle of the stage and like do some tricks, and then eventually fell over on his bike and like shredded like a Dama line that was pretty good.
Yeah.
He had good hype.
Yeah.
Logan Fair, he actually killed it. Came out, started shredding a bit of Dama stuff. He had some yo-yo tricks, and all of a sudden he's in the middle of this line and he just busts out the fact that he's on heelys. And he starts rolling around the stage while shredding the spacewalk line on heelys, man.
One.
Like, ooh.
The crowd loved that one.
Yeah, that was good. Everybody was super hyped on that.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
there
yeah,
was,
I think
there was a few
Dama
other, what were
players
some of the
can
other
get
Dama
into it.
moments?
Right.
I hit that juggle trick. I was hyped.
Oh,
on
yeah.
That was
Rod did like a deconstruction juggle, like Spike the Cerado kind of trick on stage.
None of the jugglers understood how hard that was.
Yeah,
Some of
right.
them did. I talked to him afterwards.
That's
but,
good.
Yeah. I thought I was gonna have to get naked for that one, but I didn't.
Yeah, you were getting down.
Cost me a t-shirt,
Yeah.
a pair of socks.
I mean, I was in the same
some shoes.
position.
Yeah.
I got one. There was a. So I
Cool.
was emceeing. So when you're emceeing,
That was my prize.
Yeah, mostly you're just kind of like, keeping things going, but you should probably do a couple of tricks of your own if you're up there. Like, you'd be disappointed to not.
Absolutely.
And so this was kind of unplanned, but the first thing, on one of the prizes on the spin wheel was pickleball. And I don't really know pickleball that well, but it's this game that's kind of like a couple paddles, a very low net, and like a wiffle ball. And you just smack it back and forth. Kind of beach park game, whatever.
Yeah.
And
No pickles involved.
Caribou Brewing is like a local brewery that has kind of like just been hooking us up with a lot of prizes and stuff. Like they sponsored Van Jam with a whole bunch. And so there was like a Caribou branded pickleball set that I thought we had to give away as a prize.
Yeah.
But apparently it was supposed to go to this raffle thing. So I wrote it on the board, brought the board on like our big spin wheel board. It was like a big chalkboard kind of thing that spins. And then I find out there's no pickleball set. But somehow, at like that exact moment, someone was walking by and they had just gone to the grocery store like next door, and they had a giant zucchini. A cucumber. And so I was just like, yo, give me that cucumber. Because now if somebody wants a pickleball set, I can be like, I don't have any pickleball set, but here is a cucumber. You can go home, brine this thing up, make a pickle. You're a kendama player or a juggler. You've got balls, pickle, balls,
Pickleball.
that's your prize. Ta-da! Bad joke.
I spun that
So
one.
Rod spins the pickleball. So I gotta tell this bad joke on stage about how he's gotta go home and make this pickle, tie a kendama ball to it. I don't know, man. Whatever you do with a pickleball. And so I bust this
pre-pickleball.
cucumber in half, give Rod half. He jumps off stage. Next dude comes on, and he was trying to get some music queued up with the DJ. So he's like, yo, give me a second, doing something with the DJ. And I think it was Eric was sitting in the front row, and Eric's just yelling at me all night, man. He's just like the loudest one there. He's just, do a trick, you suck, do a trick. So I'm like, all right. And so I've got this cucumber in my hand. And it was like originally this thing's like 3 feet long, maybe like 2 feet long. Like, it's a pretty big cucumber. So I've still got a big ass chunk of it. And so I'm like, all right, let's do cucumber spike. So first thing I think of is I'm just going to toss this cucumber way up in the air. We got like a 20-foot ceiling.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to like Liberty spike the heck out of it.
Yeah.
Just bam! So I throw this thing up, and it just doesn't work at all. Like, it just bounces off the cucumber. Like, okay. I think I kicked my shoes off. I'm like, all right, cucumber spike, take 2. Throw this thing off, spike the hell out of it, and it just like explodes. And like a big chunk goes off, and it falls on the floor. And I'm just like, oh my God. And at that point, I was like, there's no way. Like, if you spike it, it just explodes because it's a cucumber. It's not, that thick. Like, there's not that much in there. You spike it, it just falls apart. Take my shirt off, third try. I'm like, okay, cucumber spike, throw it way up in the air, and just spike the heck out of it.
Yeah.
Stays on the spike.
Oh.
Crowd goes wild, man. They just lose it. I'm just like, I can't believe it happened. Like, in my mind, it was not happening.
Yeah.
And I was going to have to, like, get to my underwear and then just be like, screw you guys. I'm not getting naked for cucumber spike. So I'm just like living it for a second, being like, yeah, it was cucumber spike. Next up, we got this guy. Walk over to the side of the stage. That guy's still fumbling with his music. I just look down, I'm like, you have to go right now. Like, there's nothing else that can fill this time. Like,
not at all.
You or bust. Like, this show's about to end if you don't get up there.
Oh, man.
And then he jumped up and he killed it. He did that whole thing. He had like this crazy, I think it was the dude with the big dragon staff thing.
Oh, yeah.
This dragon staff.
It's like the really long, like, staff with the twirly things on the end, and they just roll it around their body.
Dude, yeah, I know what a dragon staff is, but I remember him now.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like
man.
this crazy, like, flow arts juggling thing, but it's actually, like, pretty wild. It's like some real ninja, like, Matrix kind of maneuvers.
Yeah.
Actually, there was one guy in the show, it was like, I don't even know what you call it. Like, the prop was like a lightsaber.
The lightsaber,
Oh,
dude.
yeah,
I remember
yeah.
seeing that. Yeah.
But he had, like, this retractable,
It's like,
like,
there's a string
line,
on
like
it.
a string attached to
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So you could just throw it, like, and spin it around,
Spin
and it would be
around,
doing,
come
like,
back.
these crazy lightsaber spins, like, whipping in a circle around him, and then he'd just, like, the force it back to his hand, just like, and it was super
It was
cool.
really
Oh,
sick.
man.
Like,
Yeah.
it's I don't know, it's really cool to see that, because it really looks like the
It's
force.
flying
He's
out.
just like
Yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah.
spinning this thing around like a normal sword, and all of a sudden it just flies out of his hand, and then he like pulls it back into his hand, like,
Yeah.
all smooth and fluid. It was that guy was cool.
Yeah. What was his name? The Flow Master?
Flow Warrior.
Flow Warrior.
Yeah.
Flow Warrior.
Although straight up, like low key, I think Flow Warrior was salty with me because when he got on stage, at that point we had a few people in a row that fumbled with the music for not that long, but like, any amount of time on stage, you're not trying to have dead time. And so as he was about to start, I was like, okay, like new rule from now on, everybody wants to queue up your music ahead of time.
Yeah.
And he just
get
like
in line.
gave me this like dart eye of like, kind of like I was calling him out for taking a second specifically,
Oh.
but really I was just like,
Just general,
generally,
yeah.
he was actually pretty quick, like
Yeah.
legitimately. Like a couple other people before him were longer, but I think he thought I was just calling him out. He's kind of like, and I was like, no, Floor Warrior, it's cool. Don't throw your lightsaber at me.
Just want to let everyone else in the event know that from now on, just get ready, guys. He's about to like force like choke you out.
He starts choking you
Yeah.
out. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Bad. It was good though. There was all sorts. Eventually, the venue didn't like people started throwing beer cans at me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was right before I was about to make a real big mess.
Oh yeah, Rod
yeah.
came up to do like
Beer
Dama.
Dama. Beer Dama.
Oh,
It's
nice.
like, I basically got a can with a string on it, but no Tama, and then tied it to the tab on a beer can.
Closed
so that,
beer
like,
can.
I put it on the cup and then just did like mush kame a bunch of times, as many times as I could till I drop it. And then when you drop it, the tab pulls, popping the beer open. You use the spike to stab the shit out of it and then shotgun it.
And so the lady who's like the head tech kind of, running it for the venue that we're at, right before that happened, she was kind of like, guys, stop throwing beer cans, spilling beer everywhere,
Yeah.
And so Yuki kind of came up and made this announcement about like, everybody
Don't
stop
spill
throwing beer
beer.
cans and spilling beer because we got to clean this place up after, Like, we're in a nice venue. Like, the place we rented is...
Like, they host weddings there.
Yeah, it's like the nicest community league in Vancouver and downtown, like in Yaletown.
Man. There's beer everywhere, and broken cucumber on the floor.
Yeah, the next act is Rod standing at the front of the stage,
Just
pull tab, spike stab the side of this beer can. It's just spraying.
Yeah, I made such a fucking mess.
yeah.
Right after they told you not
Yuki grabbed
to.
the mic and just called him out pretty hard after.
I said it was
He
going to make
not
a mess
stoked.
beforehand. Yuki even gave me a towel beforehand.
Yeah, to be fair, you did come back and do cleanup.
And I did clean it up.
And like, shout out the squad, because when we had to shut the show down, like,
Everyone was
Yuki
really
shut it
good.
down
Oh, yeah.
proper.
Oh, yes.
Him and Sia. But everybody did like just that 5 minutes of like grab a chair, put it on a stack, help wheel it out, like grab the trash. Like,
That
it
went
was
a
sweet.
long way.
Hell yeah.
So good
That's
job,
what's up.
good job, all like Van Jam Mad Skills attendees
Yeah.
at getting real wild, but still being able to like kind of be a little bit responsible at the end. That's
Yeah. Help
It
each
helps
other
the
out.
people running that stuff out so much.
Oh,
Like, there's
so
so much of that
much.
low key behind the scenes sort of stuff
Yeah.
that
Nobody wants to
It's
do,
just
but
so
has to be done.
stressful. Like,
Yeah.
when you feel like you're alone and you have to do all of it. If you get everyone that comes to the event, just do like 1/20th of it, it gets so much easier.
oh, totally. But so MJ, when are you coming to Van Jam?
Dude, I have no idea. That's a tough question. There's a lot of things that always help me, or not help me. Kind of, a lot of responsibilities, different areas and shit. So going out just to play Kendama isn't the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, I can understand. That.
You know?
I mean, Japan is a long ways away.
Yeah,
I understand.
Exactly.
I'll call out like all the Dama players in Washington who didn't come. I'm gonna call you out way harder. You guys are just a short drive. There's trains,
Right.
there's buses. You
Just
can
make it
fly
over.
if you really want to be lazy.
We got a pretty good representation though from the...
No, that's true. I don't mean to like single out Washington or anything. There was a good crew out this year. Actually, Kristin, do you know what the final number of?
No, over 100 for sure. I don't know exact numbers, but
We don't know exact numbers.
Yeah.
We're still waiting to have the final. It's over, cool down, wrap everything up meeting with Yuki, who helped organize.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had like well over 100 people.
Nice.
The contest, there was probably about 60 people who just entered like the Van Jam contests alone.
Oh, okay.
We have like AM side and then like a pro bracket after too. So
Yeah.
lots of good battles.
yeah.
Very good battles.
Nice. That's good. So everyone definitely check out Van Jam if you have the chance to.
Van
Or just
Jam.
make the time
Bring
to.
your van on down to Van for the Van Jam.
Yeah. If you're flying in, make sure you're getting, a flight to the correct airport.
Why?
Yeah,
why
don't go
VR?
to Turkey.
YVR.
Why?
Don't
VR?
go to Turkey.
I mean,
All right.
there's probably a lot of other stuff that says Turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like flying. For some reason, I'm flying Turkey Air to Canada. I don't know why, but it's really cheap.
Flight's only an hour. I don't get it.
Oh man. All right. Well, you know what? I do have a bunch of questions that we'd like to ask you, Smith.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, some good stuff. So we have a Patreon page, Kentertainment Patreon, for all the people who are supporting the Dama Nerds and the other Kentertainment that I put up on YouTube, and we prioritize those people first. So Eric Bukiti, he asks, Alex, what's your top 3 Kendama edits, and just which one's your favorite?
Ooh, that's tough. Top three. I would probably throw in like one of the OG Bitter Beans edits. 'Cause
Oh,
that's one that when I first started playing Kendama, those were one of the ones that were out, and that we were like very inspired by.
Bitter Beans.
Just kind of their like funny, fun kind of vibe they gave.
Oh yeah.
Bitter beans.
So that's one.
Yep.
Maybe there's a few I could mention. The one of Wase's edits, edit 5 or 6. He did this
Oh.
kind of glitchy edit. I'm throwing back. These are like
that edit was so
that
sick,
was so
actually.
good. I think it's 5.
I think it's 5. And it was all kind of glitchy tricks, and like at that point, Wase I felt like was always kind of pushing it a little bit, especially with Tama grip.
Yeah.
He always had some just cool variations that I felt like hadn't been done. Like I remember he had this one like single trick once where he did, I think, like a spacewalk thing to inward lunar, and he just kind of like popped the inward lunar straight up and orbited around it back to inward lunar.
Yeah.
And it was just, I don't like steezy little things like that. Like now that's nothing crazy, but at that point, like that's probably the first time someone had done that on video.
Yeah. And the edit was so cool.
And yeah, just that edit was cool. So that one's always hyped me out.
There you go, Wase.
Number 3, I don't know. I want to say like either like the WKT like videos that Ballard put out.
Yeah.
Because those just capture like such a great time in like the kendama world.
Yeah.
Those are pretty much untouchable.
Yeah. Those or the like Kendama USA's 2012 like Japan video that Colin made.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which like, I don't mean to be narcissistic, like I'm in that one, but it's just like such good vibes in that edit. I've always thought like it's like nostalgic for me to watch it now. And
now you're not talking about the like moments. The 2-hour behind the scenes.
No, not the 2-hour one. I have watched that one though. That one's I actually like that's the real nostalgia button. Like,
yeah,
like
right.
You know, like just little moments that I would have forgotten otherwise or whatever. Yeah, that's a good one. Shout out Colin for like weeding through all that footage and putting that together.
Right, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
those are
probably
top 3. There you go. All right, we got a bunch more, so let's try to go. Here's big one. Are you full-time Terra?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's all you got.
I mean, I do other
bread and
things,
butter,
like on my own time, but as far as like working, it's Terra. Nice.
Who and why was Terra Kendama started, or who started it, and why did they start it?
Me and my buddy Ben, who is like one of the old KE homies. He started the UKA with me. I guess I didn't mention that way back at the very start of this conversation. The UKA, you asked who was involved. It was my buddy Ben and my other buddy Nick Conradi.
Oh, okay.
Ben Rollins. So Ben and I eventually, we kind of stuck playing Dama a little bit more seriously than Nick did, I guess.
Yeah.
So we would hang out and jam more so like later. And at a certain point we just decided to try and buy a lathe, and it's just, you think we could make one? Maybe. Let's try it. A lathe costs like $200 for like a really, really crappy one, but it worked well enough to make like a kind of sketchy Dama, and we just went from there.
Oh.
So that was 2011.
Yeah.
When we like first got the lathe. Terra didn't really become a thing for like a little bit after that, but yeah.
Nice. There you go. And when was that? What year?
2011.
Yeah.
11.
Do you remember the first little teaser thing in one of those Kendama Edmonton edits? Is at the end, it's like Terra coming soon.
Yeah,
you
that's
guys
true.
just got the hammer out banging on some purple heart.
So you can actually see like that. That's some very early. We almost put like a little commercial at the very end of one of the. I mean, it was like a little commercial.
Yeah.
At one of the Kendama Edmonton mini edits, maybe like 9 or 10.
Oh,
it's like a 30-second, just a couple shots of like us kind of working on some Damas of like Purple Heart and Paddock, which
Red Cherry.
There weren't like Red Cherry, exactly.
Red cherry, purple cherry.
Purple cherry.
Yeah.
That'll be the day.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, so you can actually, if you want to be a deep nerd, you can go find that footage of us cranking away on that little master crap lathe.
Oh, nice. All right, here's another one. What was your first ever Kendama purchase? We kind of covered that one.
Red TK16.
Red TK16.
And I think my brother peeled the sticker off it.
Yeah, he did.
Like a while after I got it. So I still have that Kendama, but it doesn't have like the JK sticker on it anymore.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but
why did he do that? He wanted to throw it out?
Actually, you know what? I have a funny story about that. As like a side tangent. When we got those 100 Uzoras that we sold to all of our friends, my one buddy Brad, I remember, bought the Kendama, opened it up, and like the first thing he did was peel the sticker off. And I was kind of like, "Why'd you peel the sticker off?" And he was like, "Well, usually when you get new stuff, you take off all of like the tags and stickers and protective whatever. And now I just got the Kendama, And it kind of made sense in that way, but I still thought it was like funny because the rest of us were like, This is my Uzora. Like, look at that yellow seal.
Right. Yeah,
that's what shows it's the Uzora.
Made it official.
This guy was just like kendama. He doesn't care. All right, sorry. Okay, we gotta keep on these questions. Not too many side tangents.
All right. I want to hear about first Kusa meetings with other pros when you met Colin, Turner, Jord, Jarrow.
Yeah. Okay. So before I joined the team, Kristin and I did a road trip from Edmonton. We drove down, and the first kendama players we ever met outside of Edmonton, like our friends, were the Wenatchee guys. Like drove down to Wenatchee, met WKT homies, stayed with them for a day or two. It was awesome.
And how did you meet those guys? Just through the internet?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
We just talked to them a little bit on like YouTube or Facebook. I don't know.
And met them in a Taco Bell parking lot.
Yeah, literally went to the Taco Bell parking lot. And we were like rolling in, and they were kind of standing outside maybe Ballard's car, just kind of jamming Dama. And I rolled down the window and just yelled at them like, "Dama's for nerds!" Straight up.
Yes, hell yeah, it is.
So we got the Dama nerd shout out back then. Yeah, we just like chilled with them for the day, jammed out, filmed stuff for the first like WKT like full video.
Yeah.
And then we were gonna go find a campsite, and they just hit us up and we're like, "Yo, do you just want to stay at like the Winter's place tonight?" And that was pretty much it. We were like homies for life since then. Like. Yeah. Winters was just staying with us for Van Jam, like at our place. So
okay, nice.
We still see those guys regularly. So that was like meeting Keith, and then we did this whole road trip down to like Portland, went surfing down the coast, and eventually ended up in San Francisco. And it just kind of worked out. We could time it that we got there for a Ken Garden battle.
Okay.
And so at the Ken Garden battle, I met like Weens, Dave Mateo, and TJ were all there. And so like those four, I guess, four were like the original like tribute team.
Right.
And so I met those four before the pro contest or anything. The pro contest happened that fall. And then the next spring, going to battle in Seattle was the first time I met the pro team. And so it's funny because I met like the entire tribute team before any of it.
Yeah.
But I'd talked to Jarrow on the phone, like a couple times before that. But otherwise I'd never met Colin, never met Turner, never met Jord. So I drove down to battle in Seattle. They were on Roots tour, so they were like driving up. But we got to like Gus's place first, Gus Karsten's, where everyone was hanging out.
Yeah.
It was like Kristin, Ben, like my buddy that I started Terra with, and I drove. And so we beat them there and we're chilling. And I was like definitely kind of nervous, being like, yo, I'm about to meet like the owner of Kendama USA. I've talked to a bit before, but you know, like I'm the new guy on the team. Like Turner Thorne was like epic. Like he was like the next newest pro, and like his videos were crazy. Like he was just playing so fast, so gnarly. Sander was like Sander. I mean, it's like, I never thought, like I remember once when I was like first starting out writing a YouTube comment to Sander, he replied, and just like nerding out, being like, oh, like, you know,
made
like,
your day.
Cool. Like Colin Sanders like a dude, and he just sent me a message back. Like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Colin Sanders, a human being.
Yeah.
So I was just like kind of nerding out, and like Jord too, although like, sorry Jord, I love you Jord, you know it, but I did not like follow Jord's stuff nearly as much, like until really I met him and like went and watched a bunch of his videos after.
Yeah.
But somehow like the Jord videos were just not on my radar, like online. It's kind of weird. But I mean, so anyway, so
algorithm
meeting the group of them, it was cool, man. It was like very like I said, like nervous, but like I don't know, like
welcoming maybe.
Honestly, that whole party was like a nonstop like. Some other big kendama name for the time, like walking in, like Christian Fraser was there, like Willie P was there. Willie P was like 14 years old probably.
Yeah.
But like already traveling across the country and just killing it, like shredding Dama and all this. Like, so yeah, it was cool. And like, I'm sure you've had it where you have these moments where you meet somebody that you've like talked to online a whole bunch.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, it's nice to meet you, but you know, like we kind of know each other a little bit already.
Yeah.
Like now we're just here in the same room.
Right.
So a little bit of that, a little bit of nerves. Like it was cool.
Right. Nice. So overall, it was of course good. So this was after you became. This was before you became pro for Kusa.
That would have been after.
After was when you met everyone.
Yeah, after is when I like actually met them all.
All right.
Talked to Colin on the phone a little bit once too, but yeah.
Oh. All right. Nice. Let's keep on going with these questions. How do you deal with burnout, whether it's from playing kendama or making them?
Oh, that's a good question. someone comes up with the perfect method, you gotta let me know. No, I mean, I find usually like that sort of inspiration just comes in waves. Like there's days where I'm just really down to film some trick or just sesh Dama a bunch or get in the shop and make something, like just have some idea to put something together and I'm really hyped on it. And I think mostly like more than like dealing with the burnout, it's just kind of like managing your like ebb and flow of that.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like I really don't feel like just getting dusty today and working in the workshop. Like, you know, I can sit on my computer and just deal with all like back end stuff I got to do, email, production, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of just, you know, kind of listening to yourself. You gotta do the things you gotta do sometimes, but I guess that's kind of the answer.
Nice. So you just wait for
If anybody has something better, let me know. I think everybody wishes they could just like go 1,000% all the time, but
yeah.
That's not really the human condition.
Right. Yeah. It was like, yeah, definitely with burnout. It's like, it's something that depending on how the creative works, if it's stuff that's just flowing from them or if they hit a wall, then it's like, how do you just step out of it? For me, like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I'll just go out, like watch like some music or listen to some music, like watch videos or something, step away from whatever I'm doing for a bit, come back to it. I think a lot of people who are maybe like you guys understand as musicians, I remember when I used to make more music, I would put it down and be like, all right, I feel like it's good, but I'm like make it a point to come back in a month and think critically, what can I do to fix this?
Yeah.
Because you always have a different mindset.
I was going to say, I mean, you should ask Kristin too. Like, she does a lot of our design work and just,
yeah.
Like,
there you go. Maybe that's something that people don't know.
That's something it's easy to get burnt out on.
Oh yeah, it's challenging because you can stare at the same thing for 6 hours and you're not even sure what you're staring at anymore.
Yeah.
And whether it's good or not good, and something that you thought was good half an hour ago now it looks horrible and you want to start all over again.
Right.
So I've been there before, and a lot of the time it's just getting yourself out of that situation. For Alex and I, it's biking a lot. We both bike a ton. So just like physically leaving the desk or the workshop or, you know, wherever he's filming, just to like go for a bike ride for an hour or something, or even just walk down the street and come back to it with fresh eyes the next day or later that day. Yeah. Really, really helps. Like, so just getting a little bit of time away and not putting pressure on yourself to perform right in that moment. I think helps a lot with burnout.
Right. Or another thing I like to add is like for me, I always continue with stuff. It's like you just finish it and move on. Where I think too much, I'm like, how can I make this perfect? Like nothing's gonna be perfect. If you're designing something, it's like do it and stop messing with it until the end of time, because it's in your brain yourself. It's never gonna be perfect and finished. So that's like the number one joke in art school is that, like nothing is ever finished. It's only finished when you say it's finished and move on.
It's like that. Exactly. Like perfect is the enemy of good.
Yeah, it is.
Right. And that ties perfectly to this next question. Oh, this is coming from Jake's brother, Eric Weens. How perfect does a kendama need to be? When can a kendama be imperfect?
Ooh, that's a good question.
You know what? I like that. And shout out Weens. I haven't seen you in a while. I know Eric over the years. We've got to hang out a few times, so it's always good. That's a really good question, because you know, for a long time, like the first like half or more of the time I played kendama, like the JKA shape was a kendama.
Right.
And so honestly, like even if you like the LBB was a great example of like our kind of scaled up size that we love to play, but at the time everyone was like, I don't like a jumbo. Yeah. Like, I don't play a jumbo. And to us it was like, it's not really a jumbo. It's like this middle size. Yeah. But you know, it was just blasphemous. Like it was kind of like, and that's not exactly what Eric's talking about this question, I think, but just more generally, I think now like people are way more open to the idea of, you know, the kendama shape and form is a little bit more fluid. Like the cups can change sizes, the dimensions can alter a little bit, the slipstyle can go up and down and change shape and profile. So like ultimately, I think there's a few core things that make a kendama. Like you got a big cup, a little cup, a bottom cup, a spike, a ball with a hole in it. Like something probably ties them together. Even without the string, it's probably still a kendama. So I think there's a lot more room just like with the morphology of the thing to kind of experiment. And then like within each piece too, I mean, you can get pieces where, you know, like with Eric, with RWB, they made the, what do they call them? It was a bunch of the ones that had like crazy knots and defects. The
reserve.
The reserve.
Special
That's
reserve.
what it was. Yeah, like the RWB special reserve. And so
those were so sick.
When you're working with wood, you're going to get pieces of wood that look great, but on the inside there's like some weird knot or something. That's just eventually you come across that. So you make a bunch of kendamas, you get a bunch that have really crazy stuff going on. And that's something I thought they did very well because, you know, they still found the beauty in the piece. And even though it's maybe not something you want to jam super hard, it still is, you know, it's not firewood. Like it's a very nice thing. Like it's still well made. It's maybe more brittle or whatever. And I mean, I have a Ken in a shop right now it is a piece of a true rosewood, the Delbergia. But it's got like a crazy like bug holes through it, and they go like all up into the serrado and like out the cup, and like it's probably good, but it's also like I wouldn't really jam this thing the hardest you could because half of little cup might just be a little bit weaker and like fall off.
Yeah.
But you know, is that imperfect or is that just the reality of the object? That not every, it's wood, like not every piece is exactly the same, exactly perfect. And so
right.
You know, I think that's a very personal thing, that every person's going to be able to look at a kendama and be like, that one's got a big ugly knot in it. Like, I don't want that. Someone else might be like, that's a beautiful thing I'm going to put onto my shelf.
Right.
I was gonna say, I think the Japanese also have a really beautiful approach to imperfections. Like I can't remember the name of the concept, but the ceramics that they make, that you know, if a bowl breaks, that they just glue it together with gold and it creates this whole new like art piece kind of, and making art out of imperfections. I've always really appreciated that in design and things. So I think that's at least how I view just imperfections as like opportunities to create like idiosyncrasies in art.
Yeah.
So,
well, there you go. All right. Well, we got a few more. Let's keep it rolling.
Questions.
Good answers, of course. Let's see. Was there a business decision that you've made, good or bad, that you were glad it went through?
I mean, yeah. I hope so. I hope I've been glad about at least one business decision. Yeah, I mean, there's been lots. I mean, I guess just the entire thing. It's more than once seemed pretty crazy to kind of keep running with like a kendama company in the way we have. Yeah. As you know, as like a business, as a self-employed person, it's, you kind of make that choice every day to keep doing it in a way, right? But no, it's, I mean, so very broadly, like, yeah, it's been great. Like, I enjoy doing it. I think we both do. Like, Kristin does it as well. She's full-time on Terra. And, you know, there's reasons I hate it, but there's a lot more reasons I love it overall. So, yeah, I don't know. That's maybe like one specific kind of like answer to, I don't know, what's a specific business decision we've made that's great?
It's hard. That's really hard to be put on the spot like that. I don't know.
I guess, okay, how about, this is something that's like overdue, but we've been working on like mid-size pills. This is something that I feel like is a little bit overdue, but we have been working on it. We've got like samples done, going through prototyping to kind of get the shape dialed in. So that's something that I guess, you know, we've made the decision to do it. We're en route and hoping that we can have like some products ready in the not too distant future, like probably a few months. But yeah, so if you're out there and you play pill stuff, get hyped, because we have some really fun mid-size pills coming that kind of split the difference well, like do all the stall tricks really well like a jumbo does, but they're not as heavy, so you can just do a lot more with it. It's a lot more playable.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fun. I've been playing mine a bunch. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Nice,
sticky paint on it, not that glossy stuff anymore.
Yeah. Full playability. That's kind of the goal.
Yeah.
All right, dudes. Well, we're nerds. We're at an hour and 40-something minutes right now. We've been rolling in hard. There's a few more questions. A lot of these I'm gonna just jumble together. There are a lot of like product questions, so you can just spit out yes or no type stuff. Are you gonna have more pro mods soon?
Yeah. I mean, we have a bunch.
Okay.
We're sold out of rods, but like we'll have more coming. Like some different versions, some good stuff. If you see something you like, get it before it's gone. There we go. Do you have any plans for more collabs with any other Dama companies? Terra/GT maybe? Question marks. I mean, there's always talks. We've got a little thing that's been, I don't even know, kind of simmering with GT for a while. It's kind of in their ballpark now, so I'm not gonna say too much.
All right.
But
doors are open.
We love those dudes, so we're always trying to find ways to work together.
Yeah. All right. Are there going to be any pro mods for the pills?
That's a good question. Excuse me. Like, absolutely. I mean, we're always on the look for people who are like just really in like an authentic way, like pushing and progressing and killing it with the pill. And Kendama, of course. So yeah, we notice the people out there who are killing it. And I know there's some right now, and you know.
Keep on going. Keep on shredding. Just wait for the future. All right. Are there any, here we go. Terra Pill 2.0 or any other Kendama adjacent Terra products in mind?
Yeah, there you go. Mid-sized pills coming. Probably some more Big Larry stuff in the not too distant future. I like Big Larry. I like to play it, and it's fun to make them. So probably do a little bit of that.
All right.
But definitely the mid-sized pill is like gonna be one of the more exciting ones, I think.
All right. Would you turn a large size Dama like the Kaiju size and sell it on Terra? I'm greatly interested in a large Dama.
I mean, sure. I can make one pretty big on our lathe.
It's gonna cost you a pretty penny.
If you want it, it will be quite expensive because
right?
To make a kendama that big, like I not only have to find a giant piece of wood and make a kendama that big.
Oh man, especially for
I'm
the
gonna
Tama.
have to make, yeah, right. Like the Tama's a whole thing. That's a huge piece. But even more so, like I have to build the tools that will let me make the kendama because a bunch of my tools are made to make kind of normal Dama sizes, and really big ones I need like a bigger version. So
yeah.
So if someone's down, I mean, we could do it. I've made like a jumbo before, but it was not kaiju size. But I'd be down to do even bigger. So
yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people don't even know. Like back in the day when Crom released their double, triple XLs, like those were fucking expensive. I don't think a lot of people know how expensive they get. Well, the triple was almost like $200 or something.
Yeah,
more than that.
Like we have a couple triple XLs. One is from Crom and one is from Kusa. Actually, it was like one of their booth Damas at a trade show. And as far as I understand, like the production cost on those is like hundreds of dollars.
Right.
So that's kind of that's why like no one I think as a brand has ever really sold them, is because they're just really really expensive. Like
right.
You got to make like a little batch of them. Like you can't just make a few, and if you got to sell them for like $300 or $400, like there's probably some people who will buy them, but
right.
I need one.
we need some new ones. Ours are so destroyed because they're heavy, right? So they break a lot faster.
They always split.
Yeah. That one is fucking destroyed.
Oh yeah, it's missing half the big cup.
It's missing half of every cup.
So really big Damas, lots of fun, but a very large investment to like actually get them made and jam.
Right,
for sure.
And then to see them just break after a while if you're really slamming them.
That's Dama.
Destroy all Damas, man. That's part of the game.
But you're right. I mean,
And the last question, what does he know? What does Alex know about new toy in town?
Yeah, I know about new toy in town.
MJ, you don't know
who
new
asked
toy in
that?
town.
Who asked that?
That was Berndine Minhel. Michne. Bernadine Michne.
Oh, I don't know that name. All right, Bernie, good question.
Hell yeah.
So new toy in town, so way back in the day, probably like same era that Ben and I were ordering those yellow Zoras like as hard as we could. There was this new brand popped up online that Wase, being the awesome dude he is, was helping run. And so they're out of Romania, and it was called New Toy in Town. And so Wase, I think actually hand turned a Dama as an example for some, local production place to make a little batch of Damas. And they made maybe 200 or maybe 400, I think. It was not like a small amount, but not a very big amount either. But it's Romania is a pretty closed economy, financial system as far as I can understand it. And so they only sold within Romania. I think for them to export was kind of difficult. So we're over in Edmonton, just spamming Wase. I want one. How do I get it? Because at that point, there was only 10 Kendama companies, maybe.
Yeah.
And so something new was gotta have it, right?
You want to get your hands on
collection.
it, yeah.
I need the new thing. We gotta figure out what the best Dama is. We gotta jam it. And there was just no luck, man. They had a website with all these sick photos. It looked awesome. No chance in hell of getting it. And so finally, probably a couple years later, I did get one. And
oh shit!
I did a trade with Wase. I made him this really sweet hand turned Terrapil and sent a couple other things. And lo and behold, he was apologetic that he didn't have a new one to send me, because the only one he had apparently was the first one he made that he hand turned himself, and it has this Tama painted with all these little bear faces. It's so cool. One of his artist friends did it up, and Ben and I were looking at the website, and that bear face one was the first photo, and we're just that's the sickest Kendama. Whoa! And I opened this box, and there it is. Literally, it tripped me out, man. So Wase, thank you for that. That's honestly, to this day, one of my most prized Damas in my collection, because it's just such a cool piece of history, obscure. Because otherwise, New Toy in Town, they did, I think, a couple hundred. That would have been 2011, 12, maybe even a little bit before that. And then I think a few years later, they kind of rebooted it, but they did a Chinese production instead of the local manufacturer they had used. I remember talking to Wase, and he was kind of it's, we're getting Kendamas out to Romania, but it's not as cool as it was before.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's a new toy in town. So if you have a new toy in town, that's kind of an obscure piece of Romanian Kendama history. I mean, especially considering Romania blew up with Kendama years later, right?
Right.
One of the biggest Kendama scenes ever was in Romania.
Yeah.
And so, to have this OG brand from 5-6 years before that's some deep Dama nerds kind of question. I love it. Good question. Great question.
Hells yeah.
There you go, nerds. Oh man, I'm stretching over here because it's still the morning. I finished my coffee.
Nice.
Yeah. Dama Nerds episode 19. Hanging out with almost the full Terra squad over there in your Terra dungeon.
Yeah, my little dungeon of a bedroom.
Perfect.
Hell yeah.
Right? Rod Dama's dungeon. Rod, I think a lot of Rod fans are maybe a little sad on this episode. You didn't do so much talking because it's you already know what Alex and Chris are going to say.
I mean, yeah.
Right? You're I don't need to ask these questions. I was in those answers.
Yeah. I was just sitting here smoking weed, listening to the stories.
Reminiscing.
Back in Canada, I'm allowed to smoke while we're doing the podcast now. So,
It's completely legal, everyone.
Hells yes. I ain't in Japan anymore.
The era of Dama Nerd Rod.
That's right. Get ready for the weird Rod.
That's right. I can come fill some airspace.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
No, I appreciate you guys having me out. This is cool.
Yeah, this is great.
Hell yeah.
Dude, thanks for joining us again. If anyone wants to check out more Terra stuff, go on their website. You can go deep, check out Kendama Edmonton on YouTube. You can you can search some Dama talk, possibly the first Dama podcast, Kendama themed podcast, started back in the day by Alex himself.
Yeah.
I think maybe the first.
Might have been the first.
Haley did it as well, but that was
Click Clack was after.
What about Kendama Joe?
Oh,
that wasn't really a podcast. It was videos, but
yeah, a
little different. Yeah, maybe. That's Dama Nerd's homework. Go find something older than Dama Talk. It's a podcast.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, again, everyone, thank you so much. You can support Ken Entertainment and the Dama Nerds podcast. We got a Patreon page, Patreon.com/Ken Entertainment. There's a bunch of different tiers there. If you're given some different types of great things, you get free T-shirts, you get free Dama raffles that happen every month. Check it out if you're interested, or if you just want to help. Stuff. Yeah, all the good stuff's on there. Or if you just want to help out, a simple share, a like, a comment. Definitely thank you to everyone who has reviewed the podcast on iTunes. That helps, that shit move up to the ranks. I think right now I just got an email from iTunes saying like, you broke the top 600 episodes. I'm like, fuck yeah. Or not episodes, podcasts.
Sick.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. 600 is like getting up there.
Yeah.
Aim for number one, boys.
So come on, nerds.
I like it. You're on the way.
Yeah, so iTunes, everyone, if you can leave a rating and review, that would help us out tremendously. But definitely just share the love and the history that we put out in this shit.
Hell yeah, man. It's always good nerding out. Got an extra long nerd session today. We're almost at 2 hours. This is the longest one yet so far, I think. We're breaking records, episode 19.
Yeah, dude. Another back-to-back.
Another back-to-back.
Yeah, right.
Going at it again. So yeah, stay tuned for the next episode, you nerds.
Yeah, nerds.
On that note, the nerds are
out.